So on TikTok lately, I've been getting a couple interesting things. The one is a guy that has like a train setup. I don't know if you've ever caught him, but he's just probably some fella into trains. But he'll do like the whole train, like he's got the horn and he's got the buttons he flips. And
Is he autistic?
No clue. Haven't asked. But then I've got another guy recently that he'll pull the old racing gloves, like Dale Jr. racing gloves on.
Oh, boy.
And he's got the foam steering wheel and he's got the little marks like the guys that race. And he's got the headset on and he's doing, he's racing. And then I've seen these guys that do like a
video game?
Yeah. And then like the guys that do the trucker.
Is this your train guy?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, boy.
The guys that does the trucker simulation.
He lives in his parents' basement. Guarantee it.
The guys that do the truck driving simulations where they get the whole like module, like they got
There's a tractor one too. He's got a whole cab like IH.
Getting to that on tractors, and then there's some that they even do like heavy equipment things where they've got the joysticks and do all that stuff. And I just I appreciate the hustle in that because a lot of these guys are running Twitch streams and they sit there and play and they do all that stuff. But my God, there's like a difference between being enjoying playing video games and then being like obsessive compulsive over it. And I respect it. Like I'd love to sit there and run the Daytona 500, but then it's like, these guys are talking shit back and forth and then you wreck somebody and then you get aggravated because I'm not a big video game guy. Like NCAA college football, that's like game I love, but I don't get into like the whole sim things and I don't have time for it.
Right.
Like, how much you put in like a setup? Because I watched a YouTube video on a guy's setup for like one of them trucking simulator things. And he had tons of time set up because it's different modules and plugged into computer. Like, I don't know. It's wild.
Works built his flight simulator and
flight simulator's another one.
So we're at electronics. There's some smart guys there. So he's built this rig with different sensors into a baseball cap to where when he turns his head,
it turns.
Like the monitor turns, like he can look out either side of the window or whatever.
Wow. Like facial recognition shit.
It's just sensors in his cap, but yeah, it's so it knows his tilt and
Look at this, Sam. Look at this. Custom one-of-a-kind simulator in the back of a Mercedes Sprinter van. Whoa.
And that's all fine and dandy. Whatever happened to chasing girls,
Yeah.
Amen,
or playing
brother.
sports.
Preach.
Getting outside, hunting,
going out,
fishing.
chasing that split tail.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy that does it, he's like an older fella.
Right here.
Hitty.
That's what we always used to call it, the split tail.
Hitty.
Looking for it.
Your wife's like facial.
I'm going to sleep like a baby when I get home. I can't wait.
She's probably going to hit you over the head.
I might walk. Who knows? The night is young.
But I don't know.
It's not.
It kind of caught my attention. Like these guys, it's a hobby for them.
Sure.
But also, you turn it into that Twitch stream stuff. You can make some coin doing that.
I went to school with a girl that Twitch streamed playing. I can't remember what game it was. It wasn't like Call of Duty or it was. What the hell? It's not a first person shooter game, but it's a. Okay, so it's like a medieval type game where you have to
Zelda
cast spells. No,
World of Warcraft.
So yeah, like
my stepdad played the shit out of that back.
So World of Warcraft. What's that kind of game called? Is it RPG? Yeah, role play game, right?
Oh.
So like World of Warcraft or Elder Scrolls or like that kind of shit.
Is Minecraft in that same?
No,
nope.
I think it's probably where some of that started, but that was like way back. Oh no, Minecraft's a new game. That's the blocks.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's what is it?
The blocks.
Yeah, well, Minecraft and Roblox. That's kind of one and one. But these RPG games, like I'm pretty sure she was playing one of those type games, and she would stream on Twitch, and I mean that was like her job.
Well, your neighbor
for a while,
the guy to be moved into the neighborhood for a hot minute. He's got a big Twitch stream, right?
Streamer, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what he was streaming on the Twitches, but yeah,
well, and it's
Fortnite.
And the games that pique my interest are like those simulators. So like you can do the farm sim, the trucking sim.
Yeah.
Like those are kind of cool.
Big fella's in I think it's called ITE still with OT Collins.
Yeah.
And they're doing flight simulators still.
Yeah.
You know, like the latest and greatest version. Not
Well, and
like
I
the
think some of those places
1998 that we had when we were in there.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Microsoft Flight, yeah. But I don't know what kind of simulator he's got set up in there, but Max thought it was pretty cool. I mean, he enjoyed it.
You could probably kill some time doing that stuff.
Oh man.
VU had a flight simulator that ran off, I think, Microsoft 98 when I was there, but way back when. But it was like a little cockpit of a Cessna with monitors in there, and controls were all rigged
Your
up.
mouth's a cockpit. Yeah, no, that those simulator games are cool. Did you ever play Sims?
No.
Like Sim City and all that shit?
Sim City, I loved because of the planning aspect of doing that.
Yeah.
Now, I did play.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yes, I knew. Did you do that?
No.
What?
But
I did.
play
I totally did.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 24
Yeah.
last year on cloud gaming in there.
Yeah.
I didn't download it,
Right.
but I was able to take off out of Huntingburg.
Yeah, see, that's cool.
And I tried to find my house, but I got lost and crashed. Probably somewhere around
LaGuardia?
neighbor Tyler's parents' house.
Well, the like when all those guys on the racing side of it, they actually created that iRacing League,
Dude,
and they were doing some of that stuff. And
What
a lot
the
of those
movie?
guys,
what was the movie that was just on Netflix like
Gran
last?
Turismo.
Yeah. Did you play that?
I recall it. Yeah,
So, did you see the movie that we're talking about?
I know it's out in a movie, but I didn't. See
So
it.
the guy that was like the main dude in that movie, like it was a real deal. Like
Yeah.
it was what the hell was who did he drive for? Shit. Not Ferrari, because he beat the Ferrari guys.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I can't remember who he drove for. Maybe it was Honda or some shit, like a Civic or some stuff. But yeah, like the Gran Turismo thing it all started with like an e-racing. And his dad was like, "Get off them video games, you nerd," and all this stuff. And he's like, "Oh, I'm getting good, whatever." Yeah. And some bitch ended up, going to race in real life and winning.
Yeah, they so that iRacing, so North Wilkesboro, there in North Carolina, Dale Jr., I think was instrumental in like helping save that track because they came and did an iRace. So when they do the technology behind how they like map that with like the lasers and getting it to be identical, like the science behind it is freaking awesome for it to be real life. But he brought attention to some of those tracks that.
Did you ever go to Bass Pro in Clarksville when they still had those NASCAR simulators down there?
I do remember him. Yes.
So when they first built that Bass Pro in Clarksville, they had on the second floor there was like a spot, and I think it was 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And they were cars. You ever seen them? They were cars on like hydraulic cylinders or some shit. You had to climb. Yeah, you had to climb in them, and they were only like from the hood up, or from the hood to like right behind your seat. And then like you got in there and shit. I don't think you wore a helmet, but like it was, you felt like you were really getting after it. And you had to you could select either automatic or manual and all that shit, and stuff. And it was neat as hell because like it was basically IMAX, you're right there, and then everybody that was standing in the peanut gallery could see.
Watch your race.
It was neat, you know what I mean? But I was terrible at it.
They do a
Like,
lot
I
of
didn't do
training,
good.
like I think NASA and those guys, like astronauts, they train a lot on that.
Sure.
I mean, pilots. Well, think about this. A lot of the drone warfare stuff,
Mm-hmm.
if you're on TikTok, you
I've
see what's
literally
going on
seen
in
a couple
Ukraine.
dudes from Ukraine.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. They said,
they
how many drones did you go through today, like in your shift? And he was like, I don't know, 25, 30.
Yeah.
And they just got little bricks of C4 strapped to them. And they got detonator buttons. And he's like, they were asking him, like, do you feel any remorse for, whatever? And he's like, no way, dude. They're here to kill me. It's either I kill them or before they kill me. Like Russians. Like, you literally watched. It was crazy.
Yeah, they leaking those those videos.
Yeah, it's
getting
nutty.
online.
It's a
That's
wild world to live in, man.
Well, but see some of that AI sim stuff that you see, where people make like those videos where they obviously it's a spoof is not what I was thinking. I mean, spoof is the word, but they do kind of like those deadpan, like talking about historical things or whatever it may be, and you're like, holy shit, that's. I mean, obviously you can tell a little bit, but how close the technology is to where you don't know if something is a deep fake or not is unreal.
I seen one today. This is actually the one I seen today. I think it's trending, but it was a video of like what these ancient, like Cleopatra, like they're taking AI and looking at like, William Shakespeare, like what he would have looked like as a real person. And it is nutty. Julius Caesar, like taking these old photos, paintings, shit like that, and using Genghis Khan. There was one, he looked like a pissed off old bastard. But you know what I mean? Like AI is a wild deal. And I think it's scary now. You know what I mean? Like people think it's scary now. I could only imagine what the future holds for AI.
It's like the Terminator movie.
I know.
Matrix.
Skynet.
It is.
Skynet.